You decided you wanted to be a cool mom and get a 400 horsepower 3-row SUV. Do you get the Tremor or the ST version? We'll find out in today's comparison. I'll include a link to the Ford & Draper's website in the description down below. They're providing us with both of these Explorers. Ask for Scott if you have any questions. Let's get right into it. This week's giveaway highlight is a classic Corvette with a big block V8. If you're interested, use code BHC or click the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment. This will give you 4x bonus entries on any donation $25 or more. The ST has a turbo 3-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic. Fuel economy is 18 around town, 25 on the highway, with power outputs being 400 horsepower and then 415 pound-feet of torque. The Tremor has the same powertrain with the same power outputs. However, fuel economy is lower, 17 around town, 22 on the highway. That comes down to tires and aerodynamics. If you're able to, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe. Starting with the ST, you can see the grill's all blacked out. You'll notice a lot of painted elements on the ST, and then look at the bottom section there of the bumper. Very aggressive, but also aerodynamically efficient. The Tremor, on the other hand, has a lot of unpainted trim to make it look, I guess, a little bit more rugged, or maybe Ford just trying to save money, right? You have lights in the grill there, recovery points, and you can see the bottom end is great for approach angle, but not so much for aerodynamics. 275 by 45 by 21 is the tire and wheel setup here with the ST, and you've got the cool red brake calipers too. Now with the Tremor, it's 265 by 65 by 18. You've got all-terrain tires, kind of an off-road style with the wheels. Here's your side view with the Tremor, and it is slightly lifted. That's another part of the package. And then here is the ST, where you can see it has a standard suspension, so it sits just a little bit lower. So I did a quick check, and they have all the same seat features, and the cargo areas in both of these are going to be identical because it's the same vehicle. That's something to note. The Tremor, you can see, kind of hides the exhaust tips. That's for departure angle, whereas with the ST, they're very prominent. Now, although spacing is going to be the same, the look of the interior is going to be a little bit different. So you've got a lot of red accenting here with the ST. Rear climate heated seats too, but very sporty. The Tremor has pretty much the same materials, but you've got gold accenting. So you can see there's a lot of carryover between the two packages. And that continues up front. I mean, you've got acoustic glass, for example, with the ST, and you'll note you've got the ST style seats here, which look really cool. The ST steering wheel, but yeah, full digital gauge cluster. You've got a big infotainment system there in the center as well. But yeah, basically red stitching versus gold stitching. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the case. I mean, the steering wheel looks identical here in the Tremor, and then you can see the seats, same theme, just different logo, different stitching. So yeah, they're the same. And that's why the pricing is pretty much identical. They're both about $62,000. So we'll take them out, drive them, and see which one performs the best. So starting in the ST, I am very cramped here in the third row, and let's kind of scoot on through. Oh man, it is not graceful. Again, second row is a lot better. Kind of a cool view of the front, by the way. So yeah, not too bad, not too bad. But yeah, that third row, I've talked about it. It could use some love. It would work for kids just fine, as long as your kids aren't too tall. So, zero fuel. Well, wish me luck, right? But I'm intrigued to see if these drive substantially different, because, you know, the suspension's a little bit different. Obviously, it's not just like tires and wheels. And I don't think the ST has the same limited slip system that the Tremor has, because the Tremor has the system for the rear where it kind of mimics a locker for off-roading. It's not a true locker, of course, but kind of more of like a limited slip rear differential type deal. Now, that's really probably not going to come into play on road, though. Off-road, obviously, huge benefits, but then, you know, it's like if you're going to go off-road, you're going to get the off-road version. You know what I mean? You're not like, oh, let's see, can the ST handle off-road as well as the Tremor? It's like, of course not. It wasn't built for it. Both of them are going to do plenty of on-road driving, so we got to see how they handle that. Man, I'll tell you, I love this V6. It's very smooth. It's got great low-end torque. The 10 speed's great. It's just from gear to gear, no questions asked. Super smooth torque delivery. And the acoustic glass in both of these is going to help out with noise insulation. It'll be interesting to see if there's more tire noise in the Tremor. I do see the appeal with these Explorers in terms of the drive compared to other three-row crossovers. They just feel sportier and they just handle better. Very well tuned. Especially the ST version. I think they've done a great job with that. Man, this is smooth. It's crazy how sharp this is for an SUV. Like, you compare this to everything else and they're kind of, you know, more luxe, sluggish around corners and everything. This thing is sharp. You can tell that it's been tuned for fun. It's got power. That's the other thing that's exciting about the STs. And I remember thinking the Explorer Sport back in the day was fast, but this is on a whole nother level. Be interesting to see over the bumps if the Tremor does any better, since it's got more off-road suspension. Or off-road style suspension, rather. So the ST, it's fast, it's fun, it drives well, it's got a crappy third row like every Explorer. I'm gonna keep knocking forward until they fix that. I'm gonna keep knocking forward until they fix that. But it performs well. It does everything you'd want a three-row SUV pretty much to do. And so the Tremor does it, you know, really what the Tremor is basically an ST that's been turned into an off-roader. So does it ruin the driving experience by adding the tires and the higher suspension and all of that? Let's go find out. So the Tremor third row is going to be identical to the ST, so there's no point in going there, but I figured you guys might want to see kind of a full little dash view there. But yeah, I mean, everything's the same, just different stitching. Same, different stitching. Okay. Let's see. This one has it's funny. This one has a full tank. The other one's empty. This one's full. So we'll see how that goes. It's a brodozer. I will be so I hope that fat eventually goes away with the crazy negative offset, huge tires lift. It's so useless, unreliable. Makes a truck less reliable with the suspension, and then it puts more strain on the engine, and it's like, for what? It looks muscular. Okay. Hey, look, it's a fellow Tremor. I feel like if someone's in an Expedition Tremor and they see an Explorer Tremor, they're going to be like, I'm not looking at you. You're beneath me, peasant. But here's what I'll say. Right off the bat, for some reason the ST felt like quicker. Weird. It felt more, felt sharper. This is not slow by any means. But yeah, it's weird. It feels like it has less power. You know, tires can certainly do that. Still very quick. You do hear the tires though. That's the other thing that I'm noticing right away. So I hear the tires. Not bad, but noticeable. Yeah, it's louder. Noticeably louder. And again, you still have the acoustic glass in this. Yeah, the Explorer is tight. This, a little bit of wallowing. It's comfortable though. Crazy that two vehicles that are so similar are so different at the same time. This is why you got to drive stuff back to back. Both of them in isolation drive fine, but yeah, see, it doesn't have that same like zoom cornering. The ST is just like razor sharp. This is softer around the corners. Wallows a little bit. It's not bad. But yeah, I can feel the body roll in this. Yeah, it really just doesn't feel as quick. Still fast though. And over the bumps, yeah, it seems to be a little bit floatier over them, so it handles them a bit better. Yeah, they really did turn this into a kind of, again, it drives different. It really is a little off-roader. In conclusion, what are your needs? Obviously, if you're going to be doing off-roading, well, the Tremor, oh, man, it was better over that bump too. Like, this suspension is softer over bumps, so that'll be obvious there. If you off-road, you get the Tremor. Now, your mall crawling, which one do you get? The ST drives better on road for the most part. Over bumps, this is better, but you know, the rest of the stuff, the ST is better. So I guess it depends. Like, if you live where I live, where it's like this, if you live here, ST probably, right? You're in the city. But if you live where I live, where the roads get beaten up with potholes and everything, this is going to handle it a little bit better. It's going to feel a bit more comfortable over the bumps, and you're going to have more confidence too, right? If there's deep snow on the road or this or that, it's like, okay, well, I got a little bit of off-road tech, so I'm not going to be as stressed about that. And I think there's a lot of value in lack of stress. But also, if you're someone like me that's not really trying to be a race car driver, like you're just kind of laid back, just kind of going down the road, this is kind of more of a relaxed vehicle. It's not like the ST's like go 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 go, corner faster. This is like, yeah, I got power, I'll get there, don't worry, just doing my thing, taking my time. So yeah, it's kind of more relaxed. Let me know which one you'd go for.